Welcome to the future of motorcycle gaming. After 4 sequels and a few remakes, RedLynx and Ubisoft bring us the latest installment of the Trial series. Is it at the high of its predecessors? Trials began as a game for browsers in 2000 and has captivated gamers around the world for its simple and addictive gameplay since its release. It puts your skills to control a motorcycle and take it through a bumpy circuit. The game enjoys such a popularity that had several sequels and expansion for PC and Xbox 360, gradually evolving from 2D graphics, proper of a game based on Flash, to graphics in HD and physical improvements according with the most modern systems, also clearly maintaining intact that characteristic gameplay that took it to the fame. Now RedLynx presents Trial Fusion, available for Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4 and PC, with new additions and improvements over the previous games, looking to catapult the series to the top. Trial Fusion is a racing game with some elements of platforming, so not only just to reach the goal, but also along the way you will have to overcome all kinds of obstacles such as cliffs, steep climbs, fire hubs, and even huge curls and half-pipes. All of this through a 2D sides perspective that immediately recalled the great classic from the NES Excite Bike, which is very comfortable to watch all dangers that wait us ahead in way to plan each of our movements. There are a total of 8 events formed by 5 to 7 tracks, each with a different thematic: laboratories, forest, frozen tracks, deserts, waterfalls, military bases, castles, and caves are just some of the many kinds of scenarios that can be found over the game. Inside each event there are 3 different kinds of competencies: trial, freestyle, motocross, and skill game. Each track has a certain level of difficulty, which will increase as soon as we go through, increasing the complexity of the obstacles and the requirements to get any of the 4 possible medals: bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. As they say, it's not only to get there, it's how to get there, and that fits perfectly in Trial Fusion. In Trial mode, each time we suffer a fall, we could get a failure. So if we want to get the gold medal in each circuit, we will have to memorize perfectly the way not to fall any time, although some tracks are a bit less rigorous and allow maximum of 1 or 2 falls. If you accumulate more medals, you will unlock more levels, motorcycles, and parts to customize them, as well as different customs for the pilot. These levels help giving more variety to the game. However, many of the tricks are quite complicated to do, and the given explanation to achieve them are not very clear actually, so we can easily end up doing other tricks accidentally that were not exactly what we had in mind. Skill games are special tests in which we must demonstrate our ability to drive under extreme circumstances. Yes, even more, like to complete a journey without being able to tilt the bike, cross a series of flaming hoops while making stunts, making the longest jump impulse from a ramp, and others. The controls are really simple and have a great response: a button to accelerate, another to brake, and the left stick to tilt your bike, while the right serves to execute the various stunts. The mechanic is really simple and friendly that anyone can understand and enjoy the game from the beginning without any problem, no matter the level of your gaming experience. Before each competition, we have the option to select between 6 different bikes. In theory, each one has different attributes, but in practice, there is very little difference between each other, and even gives the impression that they are only aesthetic changes. With the exception of the TKO Panda, which is an ATV of 4-wheeled model heavier than the rest. This one offers a real change in the driving style and add an extra touch of strategy, because its weights make easier to take the most complicated descents and is much easier to control than others, but on the other hand loses much acceleration while taking a rise if it's too steep and make it at the same time the slowest, making it difficult to get enough impulse to cross long precipices. Unfortunately, we are not free to choose the bike we want in all the tracks, because some are restricted to certain circuits. This will have added some replay by allowing us to go through in each circuit with different bikes, try to do stunts with the bike or the ATV, or complete a race with the tricks bike will be a very interesting possibility for hardcore gamers. So we had to limit to use the default ones in each scenario. There is no doubt one of the greatest strengths of the game is the editor mode, that like the name suggests is a powerful track editor that will allow you to create your own tracks, and then challenge your friends to complete them or share them through the extensive online community with other players. We have available an enormous amount of options and elements to place in them. We can even acquire more objects using DLC to give free away to our imagination. And for the online game, there are a great number of options to increase our gaming experience. We have the possibility to play face-to-face in special designed tracks, where each runner will go through on a different road to avoid interfere with other racers. Construction lovers will love the central track, in which you can play the tracks created by other players as well as share your own creation with the world. We have a rating system to vote for the best each week and a list of favorites to return and play the ones we like. Tournament mode is also available, in which we can join in different competitions that consist on trying to impose the best record in a random selection of tracks, which change every determined time. And of course, it cannot miss the traditional leaderboards to compare our best times and scores with the rest of the world. Visually, the game is very attractive, with very colorful graphics and backgrounds full of details that make it look even more spectacular the journeys, especially those that change suddenly while we drive, with explosions, gravity changes, drafts, and other elements that transform dynamically the track. Everything looks so incredible that we surely watch again and again the repetition of our tours to appreciate all the details of the scenario. On the other hand, the physics of the game are simply extraordinary. It's a delight to see how our motorcycle bounces in a very realistic way in each jump or landing, and even more when we crash. The effect of ragdoll when the pilot fly out to the air in each collision cause really hilarious moments and will cause many laughs, even tempting us to crash on purpose just to see our characters suffering injurious falls and launches around the whole stage. In the audio sections, the game presents electronic music that combines with the futuristic style of the title, serving as a nice accompaniment while running, but without being memorable, especially the main theme, which becomes quite annoying after hearing it again and again in the menus. The sound effects are pretty good, especially the roar of the engine when accelerating. The voices of the narrators give us different conversation and funny things while competing, but they are repeated over and over again every time we fall and return to the last checkpoint, which will happen hundreds of times, eventually becoming somewhat monotonous. Trial Fusion is the definitive motorcycle racing game. The gameplay is so simple to learn that players of all levels can easily engage with the game for hours. The vast amount of unlockable content invites the replay over and over again, and the extensive online content and the editor level will give a virtually unlimited supply of extreme motorcycling. Trial Fusion is an excellent game that will appeal for every type of gamer because it's easy to learn the gameplay and the large amount of online content, ideal for short session if you don't have much free time. That's the reason why in Crossover we give it 8.5.